Hi friends, today I'm going to talk about whether the police officers are capable of using handcuffs to the accused or to the convict. Before I do so, I would like to thank Commonwealth Human Rights Initiative for their work. They are doing absolutely wonderful work and I bow down to them and I respect their work a lot. We are all human beings and we should all respect human rights. If we respect human rights, then we are able to live in the society with respect and dignity. So let us talk about the handcuffing rights in India. Whether the police officers have got any right to use handcuffs over the accused or convict. There have been many guidelines that have been laid by Supreme Court of India about this particular issue. I would like to pinpoint some cases here. The first case is D.K. Basu versus State of West Bengal, Zahira Habibullah Sheikh versus State of Gujarat. Then there is one more case which is regarding M.S. Sampurnam versus Kalyan Bhaskar. And apart from these three cases, there have been many more cases where the guidelines regarding handcuffing have been laid down. And those guidelines have to be followed by the prison authority as well as the police force if they want to use handcuffs against one convict or accused person. If they disobey that, there are dire consequences of that particular act. So let us talk about the handcuffing rules. In India, police officers cannot handcuff an accused without the prior permission of the court. If they want to handcuff someone, then they have to take the prior permission of the court. If they don't take the prior permission of the court, then they have got no right in the world to use handcuffs against the accused. Now, why there is a need to use handcuff? There are three reasons because of which a police officer can be made to use handcuff. There are only three reasons. The first reason is that when the accused is arrested, then if there is a chance that the accused might run away, then handcuffs might be used. Second, if the accused is suspected to be committing suicide, at that time he may be handcuffed. And if the accused is behaving very violently, then at that time also he can be put under handcuffs. These are the three reasons because of which the police force can use handcuff against an accused. But even though there are three reasons, the police officers have to go to the court and seek the permission of the court, and they have to explain that I want to handcuff this particular accused because of these three reasons. And if the court is satisfied, at that time the court will give you permission that you may use handcuff against that particular accused or convict. Now normally when handcuffs are used, the handcuffs are used when an accused is traveled from jail or police station to the court, when the accused is traveled or taken from the court to the police station or from the court to the jail, or when the accused is or convict is transferred from one jail to the another jail. At that time handcuffing may be used, but no matter what the case is, they have to seek the permission of the court if they want to use handcuffs. They cannot come and arrest you and put you under handcuff. That is not the provision in law. If they do so, then that is going to have dire consequences against the erring police officers. Now people may ask me, what happens if something is happening or something has happened spontaneously and the police have to rush to the spot and they have to arrest the accused? Now at that time the offense is very serious and immediate action needs to be taken by the police officers. At that time the police cannot say that police cannot go to the court and demand the permission to handcuff the accused, because if they do so, then time will elapse and the accused might run away. So at that time the court gives permission to the police officer that in such situations you can use handcuff without the permission of the court, depending upon the situation that you need to use handcuffs, depending upon the situation that it is very urgent, the accused might run away, the accused might commit suicide, the accused is behaving very violently. At that time you can use handcuff without the permission of the court, but only once you handcuff him and arrest him, and when you take him to the court, then from that point onwards you cannot use handcuff one more time. If you want to use handcuff further, then you have to seek the permission of the court. So it is very clear, if something happens very spontaneously and there is urgency, then the police officer can use handcuffs only once, and they have to take the accused to the court and produce the accused in front of the court. And if they want to use the fetters or the handcuffs further, then they have to seek the permission of the court, and if the court gives permission, and then only they can use the handcuffs for the second time or for the consecutive time. Otherwise they cannot use it. William Blackstone, one of the prominent jurists of England, has said once that it is better to escape 10 convicts and guilty people than one innocent suffering from the act. And we follow this principle in India also. There is one covenant, international covenant. The name of the covenant is International Covenant on Civil and Political Liberties. We are signatories on that covenant, and we have to follow the guidelines that have been set by that particular covenant. In India, we follow one more principle, and that principle is you are innocent until you are proven guilty. If you are not proven guilty, then you are innocent. If someone makes an allegation against me, then that is the responsibility of the accuser to prove that allegations. It is not my responsibility to prove the allegations that I'm innocent. It is his ability, his responsibility to prove that I am guilty. So you are innocent until you are proven guilty. If the police officers still use fetters and handcuffs against you illegally, then there are some serious consequences. I read it in a clear way. It says any violation of any of the directions issued by us, by any rank of police officer in the country or member of the jail establishment, shall be summarily punishable under the Contempt of Court Act. It clearly says that if someone violates the provisions which have been laid down by us, then that police officer, erring police officer, shall be punishable under the Contempt of Court Act and other penal provisions. So the law of the land is very clear. It is absolutely clear. No one can use handcuffs. They can use it only under the permission of the court. If they don't seek the permission of the court, then that is going to have dire consequences. So that is why I always say the law of the land is very powerful. It is very nice. It is extremely good. The only point is that we do not know it. We should know it. We should know the law. We should know the human rights. Then only we can live in the society in a proper and in a dignified way. Thank you so much. Thank you.